Good morning, everybody. Oren J here with another War of the Visions video, and today we're going to do a little chat about raid revival. More specifically, I want to show you some solo units that can beat these raids by themselves. So you can go farm some recipes for all that UR gear. New players, veteran players, everybody needs to farm raid revival because there's no way we all got enough of that +5, +6 UR gear, right? I mean, maybe some people do, but I don't even have enough. Now, one of the characters I definitely want to highlight, and I just figured out this worked on stream, is Shadow Lynx. Evasion Shadow Lynx can go fight the two-headed dragon raid all by herself on the brutal difficulty. Watch this. Now, the last time I did this, I didn't even have her built evade. I had her wearing the Genji gloves instead of an evade piece of gear, and she was dodging absolutely everything. So this time I went ahead and threw the Santa cloak on her, which is actually something you can farm in this raid, I believe. The Santa cloaks are in there. Anyway, I put a piece of evade gear on her. She could use Sage's hat. She could use Black Garb. You could use about anything you wanted to. What I want to talk about during this video is ways to get your evasion team to do, or your evasion team, your raid person to do what you want them to do. In this case, notice that Shadow Lynx used bells on the first turn. That's really the only adjustment I had to make to her AI to get her to do this. How to do that? Turn all your other buffs off, only have your AP regeneration buff or your AP regeneration Trustmaster equipped and enabled. Turn your other buffs off, make sure you're using that one. And then the thing you have to worry about, not on this map so much, but on a lot of other maps, is make sure your unit is not in range to do damage on the first turn of the map. This especially applies to the Diablos raid. Units like Lucio, and I'll show you my Lucio here in a second, can solo that raid. Lucio, like Shadow Lynx, is another unit that basically everybody has access to. I believe new players still can take Shadow Lynx all the way to 99 or 120 or 140 completely for free. Look at this. This is an MR unit that's been in the game since launch, and she is going to handle this raid by herself. The first time I did it, I think I had 4 or 5 turns left. We'll see what it's like this time. She's running the Demon Chimera Esper in this case. No, I had her running Dark Odin. I was thinking about running Demon Chimera. I think there's better Espers for her to run than Dark Odin, but Dark Odin is getting the job done. We're evading everything, and if you're going with an evade build, my point is this. I'm rambling. My point is there are many different gear Esper vision card equipment builds you could run on Shadow Lynx to make her do this. My vision cards are not evasion vision cards. They are damage vision cards. This guy's just blind. We're only going to win with about 2 turns left this time, but it wasn't really close. We crushed that, and that's a free MR unit anybody can build. That's one way you could farm this raid revival by yourself. Now, I'm going to talk briefly about a couple other of the rooms that I was able to solo clear. I'm going to give you some tips from chat. Then I want to show you the Lucio solo clear, because that one is, again, very accessible to everyone. Okay, load. Let's just ban the room. For the middle two, which are Siren and Golem. For Golem, this one was the hardest one to get to work for me. I ended up doing it with Ed. Let me show you that page right here. There's Ed. So this is the build I was using with Ed. It was kind of scuffed, I'm not gonna lie. The trick here, it's very hard for me to get a unit to use bells on this map. Now, Ed has move 4, and so I think what I could do is take his move down. One way you can decrease the movement on units is by using the producer's bow tie. We'll show this. Let's give it a try here. That's producer's jacket. Come on, where's the bow tie at? There it is. So producer's bow tie will lower your movement by 1. I'm going to try that, and then I'm going to also go to his leg strength amplification, his agility, and move 1 on it, and I'm going to turn that into Providence of Earth. Let's go Providence of Earth. Magic attack, earth resist, that's fine. It does slow him down a little bit, but the trick is I want him using bells. Let's run this real quick. We're going to try this, see if this actually does what I'm talking about. If so, the goal is don't hit people on turn 1. Use bells. By using bells, you have a ton of AP. That will enable you to clear the mob in time. Ed's not going to die to Golem. Like, Golem is not going to beat Ed in a map where you're just blow for blow for blow. Ed's going to win that. but the time can run out. The turn limit will happen. That's really your boss in a lot of these situations. So here's Ed. Bells used because, again, lowered his move. And in fact, I might not have even needed Producer's Bowtie. I might have been able to pull that off just by changing his passive, but it's all good. He's going to move up now. He's going to start fighting the Golem. One thing I could do here is I took his slowing move from his Strider sub job off, trying to decrease his range. I think I could actually afford to turn that back on at this point, but let's see how he does. So these ads, he's going to deal with the ads. That's one problem here. There's really no way around this. The Diablos raid, one of the reasons that's such a good raid to do is, one, because Lucio's free and everybody can 140 Lucio as long as they can clear those quests. And two, Diablos actually has aggro. Like, there's aggro built into that mob. So you avoid this scenario where Ed's running around the map doing no damage to the boss because he's running all over killing the ads. We got 13 turns left, 149 AP. Let's see if he can do that. For some reason, he's headed back up the mountain here. That was just him wasting CT. Really weird. I've never tried this build before. We're doing about 7K a turn. Ed is getting his steps in. That is one thing that's important for him, is he needs to get the cardio and he wants to burn those calories, get the quads built up. So it's a very important thing for Ed here, clearly, is building up those quads as he goes up and down that step. So, okay, he's at least getting that done. I don't know that he's going to win this. We got to do 50,000 damage in 6 turns. We have 35 AP, 40,000 damage left, only 20 AP. We're going to summon. Now, in this case, this is a good opportunity to talk about another tip. When you're putting an Esper on your unit, it is a good idea to use an elemental Esper that when you summon them gives the giant element buff. I think we're out of moves. I don't think I have anything turned on anymore. Okay, this could have worked. Like, we absolutely could have won that had Ed still had access to moves to do. He ran out of skills. So let's adjust that and we'll make Ed work. Yeah, just put in some edits at the end of the video that just outtakes of me failing this with Ed. I feel like the time it worked. We won with like 4 turns left or something, and it was totally like there. He summoned with 11 turns left this time. That's so much more time with the buff than he had before, and now he's going to win this easily. Okay, so I'll just put this in. All right, here we go. We're picking it back up right here. So we edited this a little bit, turned some moves back on for Ed, took Producer's Bowtie off. When I took Producer's Bowtie off, Ed actually moved out and started fighting the ads early. Not sure that's what we wanted to have happen, so we didn't end up getting Bells cast, but it turns out Ed's going to win this anyway. The point of this was, this is a really scuffed run with Ed. Golem is better to fight with a magic unit, more the merrier, or Sottily can do this, than with a physical unit, because Golem is better against physical than magic. I've heard Flagbearer Glassy can handle this just fine. There are a lot of wind units that can go beat Golem by themselves. This was an Edward Elric with, now yes, I did have Dark Tetrasylphid Esper on there, but like I was using Addison Ray's free vision card. In fact, I'm using that on like almost all of these teams because there's no way for me to know what you have, like what rare stuff you have, but I know everybody has Ed and that Addison vision card. Whether you built Ed or played during FMA or not, I don't know. Anyway, let's go show the easiest one in my opinion, which is Diablos. And when I'm showing you this one, I want to show you exactly what you need to turn on and off to make, well, you can't use Ed. Don't use Ed for Diablos. You want to use Lucio. So let's go to the Lucio team here. That's the Shadowlings team. That's the Halloween Little Leela team. It's the Bradley team. That's the Lucio team. So what I did here, I'm using the Blood Sword. Now, Blood Sword gives Lucio sustain / attack up. It's a really good sword. If you haven't farmed this and built this, I highly recommend it. It gives you some sustain, which is just super useful. Has 204 attack. Great weapon. I'm also using the armband from Tower to get me a little bit more dark resist on there. And then I'm using Two-Headed Dragon. This is a good Esper for Lucio. Even though it's so slow, it just doesn't matter. The real trick here is for Lucio, you want to turn off his long range moves. Limit Break, if you leave this Limit Break on, he will Limit Break and add on the first turn. You don't want him Limit Breaking and add on the first turn. You need to keep his range to 3. This can hit to range 4, so go with Lucio, go turn off everything that is longer than range 3. That will give you the ability to walk out here and hit Diablos at Bells first, and then hit Diablos Watch, you'll see right here. This is probably like, I'm live right now, and so I'm not going to re-record this. This is definitely one of the like worst live take videos I've ever done. But at this point, I'm so deep into it, and I still haven't even pulled today. I'm just going to let it go. So this guide video brought to you by me sucking at making video day. Anyway, he did it. He popped bells on turn 1 instead of anything else. Now he will have as much AP as he needs for this fight, and he will immediately start killing Diablos. He kills the ads he was going to kill anyway. It doesn't even matter. You don't care about those ads in this fight. They are irrelevant. You just want your Lucio walking out here and popping off against the big dark demon dragon. Yeah, demon. He's got wings like a dragon, but he's definitely a demon. And Lucio's hitting him for maximum damage. Alternate vision cards you could use here if you wanted to use the two-headed dragon vision card. On a lot of those single hit moves where Lucio's doing max damage, that would increase your damage a little bit. I'm not using any special trust stone set for these fights. Honestly, like, I'm just using generic trust stones that I use all the time, especially because on my bells, I use that in PvP constantly. I'm not going to swap trust stones off of bells just for like this raid, when look how easily Lucio's handling this. In my opinion, for everybody who's wanting to farm this raid, if you don't need the specific drops from one of the rooms, I would highly suggest this one to farm, because Lucio just handles it so dang well. Maybe you don't have all of the things I was just using. I beat that with 11 turns left. You could have a significantly worse build than this, and it would work just fine. So Lucio looks to be the way to go. That's what I'm going to use to farm this. It's going to be the quickest. There we are. Okay. Chat wanted me to mention the MR unit Sorrel can also farm Golem. So that's another option for you. If you have that, there it is. Thank y'all for watching. I hope your raids go better than my recording of this video did. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one, everybody. I'll catch you next time. Peace.